We use this little 354 International tractor quite a bit in our vegetable production, but it ended up broken down last year with some problems, so it was first on the list in the shop. It's got a little 4-cylinder gas engine, but for tilling and what we use this for, it's ideal. Main problems with it are, as you can see, it's somewhat dirty. It needs to be cleaned up. We had a fuel leak in the fuel tank, so that has been taken off. That is here. It had some brake issues, so the brakes on one side versus the other were touchy and not even. So we're getting that. We're getting all the fluids changed. It's also had some charging problems and a battery issue. So here we go. We're gonna get started. So first things first, we want to get this well cleaned off. It's a lot more pleasant to work on a clean piece of equipment, and if we're going to paint it, we don't want a lot of dirt and grime on it. We were able to pressure wash it and get it back in the shop quickly before it was too iced up. So after finding where the leak was, we recoated the inside of the gas tank with a special sealer that was made to withstand gas. Then we fixed the wiring and installed new lights where necessary and got everything hooked up so that we could have good lights again. I don't know about you, but for me, when I turn that light switch on a tractor and all the lights work, it just gives you a good feeling. You feel safer on the road and it feels like the vehicle is looked after. We did a whole bunch of other minor repairs and painted as we went. My dad always used to say that if you look after the little things and keep an old piece of equipment looking good, then it will last for a long time. So it's not just vanity for us to get it all painted up. Everyone who uses this tractor is likely to take better care of it if it looks good and everything works. So there she be. It's functionally restored, and I call it that because everything's not perfect. Radiator cap is still bent from a incident where it contacted a tree a few years back, and the front grill's not quite perfect, but boy, if you weren't looking at that, it looks pretty close to a new tractor. And it's got a lot of functional life left in it for a fraction of the cost. All right. As you know, we had the fuel tank out. We also put in a fuel filter. So it's always a little bit apprehensive when you give it that first start to see if it'll prime and everything's going to work. And here it comes, looking sharp and ready for work. I can't wait to put the tiller or bush hog on it and get it in the field. But I must say, this is a 3-season tractor. Doesn't like the snow and ice. So we'll have to put it under cover and get it out next spring. And while I was working in the barn, I heard a big ruckus out in the front yard. The northern shrike was back. It's amazing how even though it's a rare bird, all the other little birds in the area know he's nothing but trouble and alert everybody in the neighborhood.